for fair. Nair into whatever she can convert in. And then Game and Watch.
Mr. R, don't do it! Don't do it, Mr. R!
What?
You swore never again! Oh, he's bringing out the Chrom. He knows
he's relapsing.
He's relapsing.
Yeah,
he really is.
Everything, no, it's
oh,
like
no.
You know what? I get it. I've been there. I'm never touching this character ever again. I can do it. And then you just like you hear the mask. You're like, coward. Why you don't pick me?
I get why, right?
Coward.
Chrom's got a sword. Game & Watch doesn't like swords. But Game & Watch is also one of the best edgeguarders in the game, and once you put Chrom off stage, it can be absolutely brutal. Starting off on Battlefield, this top plat, just good for both characters. Chrom can get some great extensions and loves the extra platform to land out a disadvantage. But when he doesn't, you know, Game & Watch, you saw gets the juggle extensions, puts you off stage off one interaction, and there's no way past the Chev. He just has to get up past this ledge trap, and Chrom, well, this is about it. This is what you get for relapsing, Mr. R.
I mean, to be honest, it's pretty rough because, like I said, the Chef is just like GG Lamao trying to get in back at the stage, but it's been a constant state of just disadvantage for Mr. R ever since Meister got the first touch in. Trying to survive here, get some kills from the Dyson Blade, but it's not gonna work. Share to the face. Dale con la silla, mijo! It's gonna work for now. Uppy, guys to hit the ledge, but that's gonna be a punish. See ya later, and the first stock goes bye-bye.
Credit to Mr. R where credit's due, though, right? He did a very good job recovering, pushed it to the absolute limits, and you can tell the mastery he has of this swordsman. And even still, the empty hop, the tomahawk grab just gonna push you off stage. Recognize, hey, I have an opportunity for a jab back here, maybe a jab F smash, right? Something to steal it away. Gets the wrong hit, but that doesn't matter because the panic air dodge from Meister is gonna get called out. Keeping this one nice and even, and you know, showing us why he went with the Chrom in the first place, but now Meister showing us why you maybe don't want to try it.
Kids, don't try this at home. Don't go Chrom versus Meister.
don't go Chrom versus Meister unless you're exactly Mr. R.
Your name is on the list. Trying to survive here. 72% and just chilling there. Trying to make sure the Meister is the one to approach. Trying to overcome it. And there we go. Challenging with the Nair over and over. But still, Meister just like, you know what? I can do the same. I can just go and challenge with the turtle.
What a call out, Big C. On the top plat too. Even though that's not going to kill, it puts you in such an awkward situation as Game & Watch because you want those platforms to land, but getting hit on that top plat pushes you right past them and gives Chrom the perfect positioning to cover everything. Looking for the Jair there, but doesn't find its mark. However, Meister has to go down low, but he gets pushed off the ledge, but a dash attack to catch the landing. He's playing this so patiently, waiting out this spacing and trying to make you guess, but Mr. R showing the patience. We're not seeing these over-aggressive swings from him that we've seen sometimes in the past, and right now, I mean, he's playing this matchup about as well as you possibly can.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a rough start. We saw Mr. R get hit once, and then it was just constantly being in pain with the ledge trap in the edge guarding. But now that he has the chance to set up the foot in the ground and just play his game, just slowly challenge with the first, going with the nairs for the call out in there, and just winning every interaction he can is being wonders. But still, Game & Watch only needs one. You get the hit by the turtle and you're back to the ledge, and look at that, downers, want to make more touch. Got to make here for the read, spacing there, but not gonna work yet.
And the awkward shield poke there too. The roll through calls it out, and the F tilt doesn't even need the smash attack. Mr. R now with about as slight a lead as it can be, but Meister with the parry says, hey, remember the defensive counterplay, and this game is strong, but Mr. R catching you slipping. The Chrom side coming out. That might be the highest level one we've seen since 2019, Big C.
Maybe.
But you know what? He got a game.
Yeah.
I'll give it up for him.
You know
Mr. R showing us that the Chrom still has a time, still has a place, even still.
Don't encourage
him. Don't do it any more than you're doing it, buddy.
Don't encourage
Hey, listen. You know what they say. Everything's good in moderation.
Okay, yeah, true. You're true. You're so right about that one. But like, you know, also, I mean, maybe we will have in a little bit of difficult of mind because you don't jump into the Chrom blender.
No, you don't.
You end up out like a smoothie like that.
I get why you do though, like as Meister there,
because you want to get the hit in there,
yeah,
right?
and as Game & Watch, like you get that back air there, you put him in such a bad position. There's no way back, especially no jump. But you misspace it even slightly, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it is a hard call. Like same with Ike, like you get the hit if you hit him on the top after they go the spinny thing, but after that it's just you get a free punish. But if you are not on point, I mean, we see what happens. But let's see, it's a whole new game, it's a whole new world. Game number 2 over here. Let's see if Meister can bring it back with the stroke star which he showed us in the last game. But now let's see if he can make it sure, because I mean, this big boy Chrom, you have to tame this guy.
And Mr. R watches spacing here. He's holding the center, now the edge of that platform. He's keeping about just about exactly right a sword length, a down tilt length between him and Game & Watch at any given point. Because if Game & Watch fades in, Chrom has enough time to dash away, jump or fade back with a sword, and catch your approach. If he goes away, you can get in and do the same thing. He's spacing this perfectly, controlling platform to a T, and never giving Game & Watch the opportunity to catch him without multiple extra ways to land.
Indeed, he's doing it perfectly. Also, the spacing from Mr. R is real good. Like, he's trying to not overcommit that much, and usually it's Meister the one trying to get for the big hit. And once he gets it, I mean, it's getting back to the ledge, but he's making such a good job of just moving around using that platform to his advantage in the air from there, from downtown, from really down below.
He got it from below because it goes down to up, so it catches below the ledge, but then had to do the run off back air. The insane recognition from him, right? And to find that on the runoff too, the window to get that turnaround and still slide off is so incredibly tight. Get the up hurdle going for the Chrom side, but Meister with the drift in there, so he's gonna hold on. I like the bucket to get back to top platform. Orm utilizes that top lat to land on his own because Mr. R's juggles have been incredible, right? That's the benefit of Chrom. This character is so fast, so consistent without that sweet and sour spot that he can keep you above him. He can edge guard you for days.
You see the counter for the down air? That was a raw call out from Mr. R, but not gonna work yet. Trying to survive here. Now you are in the ledge, see how it feels. Meister with the run dash. There we go. Dash attack's gonna work, but still not enough to get the KO. You gotta show us. We're gonna go for the back for upper. Maybe that was a mistake with backer. But still, one more touch is gonna do it for the stock, but it's the one that does it. It's Mr. R. Every time I try to say Meister needs one thing, Mr. R is the one doing it, and I think it's just showing that Mr. R is in control of the tempo of this whole match.
And he's spacing these perfectly, right? The back air, despite it being destroyed from Game & Watch, isn't as big as the sword. Without the sweet spot and sour spot, even that tippy tip of the sword does just as much as the hill, unlike a character like Roy. Mr. R is using that perfectly, saying, hey, you can swing me with back air, I'll use my up special, I'll use other things, because you just don't have a way to contest this. Your hitboxes just aren't big enough, and right now, Meister has to catch these right ledge hangs with the bomb. That's how he's been stealing the stocks time and time again, or carrying a juggle extension combo. He does get a lot off these platforms, but Mr. R mixing up the air dodge time to get back down, and he really does feel, as you said, in control of this one.
Okay, okay, Ritual, tell me if you agree, we need to make the hard call down throw 9. We need a 9.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, listen, he's down a stock game 2, air gonna do it, catching you at slipping, and that one just looked definitive. Remember, that Battlefield counterpick that time was Meister's, and Mr. R looked even stronger. If I'm him, I remember that, hey, I was the first person to get a top 8 game win with Sora, right? It was such a big deal, I got confetti for it.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, hey, you know who does really, really well against Chrom?
All right.
Sora.
He does.
And you just go it for a game. You just go it for a game. You say, hey, yes, it catches me in an awkward counterpick situation because then he can flip to Sheik and I have to win that one. But I don't know how right now, like his adjustments, he's been calling out these up specials, right? He's recognized the timings, he's adapted to Mr. R's habits, but he just hasn't had the hitboxes to lock it in consistently. So I get it. I get it if he stays the Game & Watch. But I feel like knowing what he has as a secondary in the back pocket, right? In my head, I just like, gotta give it a try because Mr. R has looked firmly in control of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's really Meister like meditating a little bit. Just what do I have to do? And I believe 100% this is all Mr. R just playing the player matchup. It is 100% also. I mean, he's doing perfectly with the Game & Watch shenanigans, but I think it's just Mr. R playing so well the matchup against Meister specifically.
We might need to get a Mr. R apology for him live on stream right now because
I don't know. You're not feeling yours right now? I'm doing it.
I mean, listen. We made fun of him, right, for relapsing into this Chrom, but he is showing it off to perfection right now, and potentially, right, looking to just 3-0 Meister in what would not only be an upset on paper and I think in objectively, but just showing you that one of the least played characters in the meta today can still do it.
I mean, it only takes if there's something I learned, you only need mad lad and a dream and a lot of dedication for these kind of situations to happen. Like we see Chrom this time, we saw Hazard with Dr. Mario. I mean, you need someone so dedicated to the cause and just love for the character, and for more than anything, the mental, just the strong and the willpower to believe that you can do it with this character. But at this point, it's just ledge trapping over Chef, and that's gonna be not enough.
What a magnet hands, my friend.
So far.
We're seeing the Meister write a game plan here. He's starting to play more heavily in shield, recognizing, hey, Chrom doesn't have great grabs, right? If I shield, if I start to parry, then I can find the punishes here on Chrom's buttons. Then I can put him off stage. And if I can get an opportunity to chef him, right? If I'm at the right spacing to cook up some bacon, I might also be able to cook up a stock. Executed it perfectly there. And now we're seeing the adaptation really start to pay off. But he doesn't have any spare games to work with, right? Meister has to maintain a driver's seat here for the rest of the set. Because if Mr. R gets it back, we've seen he doesn't let it go.
I'll keep saying, Meister starts so strong the set, so I need to see more of that. I mean, just keeping Mr. R out of the stage and just constantly pressuring. Maybe you don't get the KO every single time you put them out of the stage, but you're still keeping them the damage. You're keeping the pressure on. Finally, the Chef and a nice conversion to the throw. Now you're gonna get one more chase down, but I still think that the platforms are being a big factor here. Meister is being interrupted by them, and Mr. R is making so good use of them to move around.
And this game, really the difference maker, as you mentioned, though, is those platforms. Meister's done a great job dislodging Mr. R from underneath them, and now is starting to find the edge guards to boot. Mr. R has used these platforms to protect him against forward airs, against the Chef, and against landing neutralers, really limiting Game & Watch's combo game. This game, though, it's been different. Meister's been able to find an answer, been able to get underneath them and force Mr. R out just like this. He now has to footstool away, but he needs to find a way to control this space, because if he can't have platforms as a safe haven, I mean, he might have nowhere to call home.
Oh yeah, but hold up. I mean, we are seeing a situation we have seen the whole game, the whole set. Is Meister again on the ledge, trying to get in there, maybe trying to go in the offensive versus Mr. R. But I really like what I'm seeing. 136%, and Meister is just chilling.
What a call out.
I love that. That's the adaptation he's doing. That's something new. I think he was thinking about, oh, okay, how do I deal with this up B? And you know what? Use your invincible move. It hits. It's nice. It's fast. Just get out of there. Trying to survive there with ledge trapping. Nice. Avoiding the Chef, and Meister now going in. It's gonna be an up B. There's gonna be the KO, but don't worry. You still have a whole stock lead. Don't need to rush.
And with Mr. R having to go to the corner, burn the air dodge, even to get back, right? The top platform going to help him get away from the juggle, and the key not able to slide. He has an advanced opportunity, but the bomb, that delay, the forward air, right? So incredibly useful and flexible because it just separates from your body. It means that Mr. R can't get away, and he's gonna have to do it in another game.
Oh, with the Chef?
Yeah, the pan, out of the frying pan, into the fire. Mr. R was cooking the first two games, but Meister answering back, showing you that he's the master chef himself. And if I'm Mr. R now, right, I'm starting to sweat, because Meister that game recognized how to get the Chef openings, right? He recognized that Chef is the key to victory because it disrupts Mr. R from just moving, right? It locks down that space. And in a platform fighter, locking down movement angles is your key to victory most of the time.
I'll also add that he started doing those Bs on his up Bs, like Mr. R Bs, and that has been huge. You have to interrupt that. Like Game & Watch has the benefit, the privilege to interrupt that up B like that. So the Meister has been waiting more for those, and doing real good job of just making sure Mr. R can recover properly like that. And so I want to just make it this, and I think he also lost the fear to go for Mr. R for the edge guarding, because he wasn't going deep for them, and I was like wondering, why is Meister not doing for that? Maybe it's the fear from the first blender going for the Chrom side, but we're gonna go to final destination for the game 4. We still believe in this miracle. Reverse trio, tower order for Meister over Mr. R to go into top 32.
Listen, right? FD is a great counter pick on paper for Chrom. He loves this stage. He's great at juggling you, preventing you from getting down, and has the speed to cover the distance.
Like that.
On the flip side, though, right? Game & Watch, if he pops you up, you have nowhere to land, and you have no way to go back to ledge easily because of the blast zone that will await if an edge guard even dings you slightly. Right now, Mr. R is trying to answer back, but Meister playing so beautifully around these dash shields, so beautifully around these chefs, keeps finding ways in, and this is what we're seeing. We're talking about the patience from Mr. R in the first couple of games, but the slight over-aggressive down tilts right here in games 3, 4, and potentially 5 are starting to cost him.
Yeah, and I think Meister finally found his footing. He's out here just making sure to not let that pressure up in your ledge, not forgiving any single mistake and every single interaction he can. Parry doesn't get to share, but it's okay. You're still in control. You just only got to slowly go to snares, go for the cows. Oh, a really good reaction check there, but Meister just didn't choose the right option, but Mr. R out there with a hard reads.
Dude, I cannot believe he just read that. We have not seen him look for many of those throughout the set. In fact, many F smashes at all. Right? Been leaning on the F tilt time and time again, but recognized the situation, said, hey, this is where I need to start pulling out those aces up my sleeve. I don't have a whole lot of them. I haven't cashed in my Ballad Show Jokers to get any more yet, so I got to figure out with the limited resources I have right now how to counter adjust this Game & Watch, and he's starting to slow the pace of the game back down. That benefited him before, but he's got a lot of work to do on this second stock.
All right, watch out for the bomb. Ooh, nice get up attack to get rid of the bomb, but it's okay. Game & Watch kind of chilling over here. The bomb does his dirty job, but still I have another option for you. Down tilt's gonna do it. Last stock for Mr. R, and Meister making wonderful work on this comeback. Tries to still to hold on to the stock and get all the damage he can. I believe he can get the KO. We have seen Meister play so clean sometimes.
And we're starting to see, right, Mr. R just swing for anything.
All right.
These crazy forward airs, these down airs, just trying to find pressure, or because nothing is working on the shield. Goes for that shield break attempt, but even that, with the eruption, just not quite enough just yet. Neutralizer's gonna give him stage control for a moment, but unlike the past games, hasn't been able to put Meister in the corner either, and that's been another difference maker. Finally gets an opportunity, finally takes his first grab of the set, and this is a chance for Mr. R, but he has no extra room to work with, Fixie. He needs to take the stock and then play perfectly from here on out.
Yep, you are going to have to maybe get another Chrom side there. It's going to be the whole stock there, and now it's Mr. R trying to play on the reverse 3 stock, trying to survive. 92%, not the best spot to be in. You get a bomb on the face, and that's going to be it. And that's what Meister's going to look for. Maybe a backer, trying to look for something. Maybe big reads. We're going to get the throw. I know you're going away again. Out of there, Chef with the less trapping. It's going to hurt. No,
wow, hold on, he might get it. No, the drift in.
Okay, there we go. Boom. Yeah.
That was a flash of life before Meister's eyes, for sure, my friend.
I am.
And, right, he saw that Chrom side.
Yeah.
And was like, oh no, did I just lose? Did it happen to me again? But he got that drift in. He recognized the situation in advance.
Yeah.
Unlike that last one, you get about 1 per set, and Meister said you already cashed that in. So now, what does he do? What does Mr. R do? Because Meister has firmly adapted. Game 5.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever works, you know.
But without, I think Chrom, like,
no,
as much as I feel like
we're joking about it, but Chrom has been working so well.
It's been working so
I mean,
well.
It's just that Meister has been squeezing more of his of the disadvantage state from Mr. R. Like he's been squeezing more of his advantage state, and he's not letting Mr. R get back easily. And it's been a pain over and over. And now Meister is reacting and doing the right reads to catch Mr. R every single time he tries to recover into the stage. Well, let's see now.
Look in the player cam. Meister has gotten closer and closer to the monitor each game. But Mr. R, you can start to see his face, even in micro adjustments, start to get more animated. The head is nodding with every interaction. Even though he's just nodding, right? You see the slight movement. But that's a lot more than we've seen from him before. He is starting to get stressed. You can see he knows he's so close and doing it with his favorite character. But that might not be enough. He needs to find a way back down. We saw the success here in games 1 and 2, but this is a different Meister than we saw at the beginning of the set.
Like I'm saying, like Meister is just adapted real well. Now we saw how to deal with the LB. We saw the edge guards, but I also think he is doing amazing work just now, calling out Mr. R recovery options and not letting him get out of the ledge. And look at that, just the persecution is so impressive. Not getting a single spot for a single mistake, and nice. We got the DI, we got the drift like you said, but making it so it doesn't hit the top platform and get an early KO. But for now, it's just about these swings. It's like a joust. They're going to run out of each other and swing something. Whoever gets hit, that's going to be it.
Mr. R there, you saw, right, just overextending his dash slightly, pushed himself past the edge of the platform. That's where Game & Watch capitalized. There, Meister was able to hold shield at the edge as well, so Mr. R not able to take the space he wants, gets punished for it, but the F smash once again. Mr. R started to catch onto these landing mix-ups, and here, if you want to land on the ground of Battlefield, right, you have to land in those specific lanes between the platforms. He knows that. He found the stock, but Meister now on a similar situation in turn. These two have each other cataloged to a T, and this almost feels like Game 1 Part 2, because they have all the adjustments from the past 4 games. They know what's up, and they know everything, but they're still trying to feel each other out in a whole new way in this Game 5.
Sorry, phrasing it just made me giggle. Just made
okay.
Sorry, just made me giggle. But for real, like 63% of a Meister, it is not that bad. But you have to remember that Game & Watch is so light. Another hard call from Mr. R for the smash attack is going to do it. But for now, Meister really needs to get something going, and then finally he does. A throw into the double upper. That's more than okay. You're gonna get the parry, get the share. Where's the? Oh, okay. Try to up it up there. No,
like
this is my house.
Yeah, hold on. This could be it. And Mr. R, it looked like he side specialed there. Or used the dancing leg play, but conserved his momentum. However, the call-out not going to be enough here on Battlefield. Game & Watch just barely living at 100. No Rage to speak of. Definitely is what allowed him to survive. That jab at too far away, potentially to lead into that back air or that F smash. Mr. R trying to find an answer, but Meister now playing the same way we saw Mr. R doing before, playing the spacing around platform perfectly, baiting him underneath, trapping him up and locking it down with these juggles, racking up the damage, and Mr. R suddenly is in the inverse we just saw from Meister, right? He needs to find an answer and fast.
Yep, indeed. I mean, this is a whole momentum swing going on against Mr. R, and you gotta be real careful about how are you gonna find your openings here. Trying to go for a throw, doesn't gonna work. Now is Meister just chilling on the platform. This is your counter pick. Thank you very much. So mindful of you to give me some space to me. Turtle out, trying to survive. Gets a throw, not gonna work.
Instead, Meister's gonna get one in turn. Vixie, the air dodge perfectly timed through the chef, but he's gonna get pushed off the coast to coast, going around the world here, and Meister just trying to find a way to close this one out. He had a key, but didn't want to commit. And now Mr. R once again trapping the landing, and it all comes down to this. He knows he has to play perfect. Nary a hit to take, and he has to get back to the stage. Somehow avoids the back air and gets in, but not out of the. How is he surviving right now? How is he holding on? He's trying to hold on with destiny. Show you that the swordsman goes no quarter, and he has a chance.
You gotta be careful here. We saw the Chrom side on the table. There's just 20%. It's a terrible spot for Meister, but yeah, just hold on to your laurels, and that's gonna be it. Hit him with the shirt like it's Friday. Hit him with it. De la silla de la tercera cuerda. Meister takes it. He's gonna make it to the top 32. A little bit small of a pop-off, but a really close one. You cannot be celebrating when you were shaky like that, but still good stuff to Meister. Luminosity owns is just making sure to secure a spot a little bit further in this bracket with enough extra credit with the winners one.
Yeah, Meister taking that with a chair air at the last moment. No, I'm sure H-Box popping off somewhere in the venue for that victory. But, you know, Mr. R, despite coming up just short, I'll hand him the apology for him.
You know what? Yeah, the Chrom was where's Mr. R? I'm gonna say like, yo, Mr. R.
He went up front, and honestly, right, he's got losers bracket to focus on. Probably wants to take a minute to reset his mental.
I'm just joking, but like
getting reverse 3-0'd like that, starting in such a dominating fashion, and then just kind of getting out adapted as the set went on. You saw he was able to find the juggles, he was able to find those edge situations, but Meister just really started to slow the pace of the game down. Right, started to lean on up air juggles because they're lower commitment a lot more. Started to lean on Chef for the same reason a lot more, and that forward air. Plus, recognize the exact positioning in the center of platform or that interior edge that Mr. R was constantly holding, that he was using to keep his movement ambiguous. And Meister made it a priority to, at all costs, take those spots from him. If you watch games 3, 4, and 5 of the set, Game 3 obviously in Final Destination, but you watch the end of the set there on Battle.